Hey there, Sheepdoggers, and welcome to Sheepdog's unfair review of Darkest Dungeon. Now, I know I haven't actually done a video on this, but I've streamed it and I massively enjoyed it. So we all know how this is going to go. I'm going to say it's good, and I'm going to say, yeah, if you're interested, probably pick it up. But at the same time, it is early access, so you may want to wait, but this will be slightly different. Let's go, and etc. Okay, so as you see, I've actually done a fair few. The stream one is actually in week 10, and I'm going to do a series on this, I feel. And we'll get into why I'll do a series on something in early access, because I don't always do that, because quite often I feel it's not done enough. And in fact, we'll go into that now while it's loading. I'm going to do a series on it because it is kind of done enough. You know, it's already got enough features and enough enjoyment and enough everything for it to just be plain worthwhile. Okay, so this is the kind of hub of your game. And you've got all of these different things. You've got like stress relief and treating quirks and diseases. You got your guild, upgrading combat skills. So it's kind of roguelike, I think is how people. And you've also got your graveyard when your guys die. So there's a certain aspect of XCOM that I find interesting. When you basically at the moment your quests, which are here. Defeat Apprentice Necromancer, Swine Prince, you know, you've got to defeat all these guys, and you've got roster goals and stuff. I mean, it's fairly simple right now, and I think it's probably one of the things that I imagine they'll want to carry on with, you know, keep updating, is just updating the, you know, tweaking the heroes and that, and then updating the kind of goals and how long the game lasts, and it seems like it'll last quite a long time. Okay, so let's get into the characters and the gameplay. So, for example, right here, you know, we have, this is one of the first guys you start with, Reynold, Apprentice Crusader. He is Resolve level 1, or he's level 1. And you can see his Resolve XP, so that goes up and he gets levels up in that. And you've got Stress, this kind of, the black squares inside the black rectangles inside the white rectangles. 79 out of 100. Now, while you're out questing, while you're out running missions, you will of course take hit point damage by being attacked by monsters and stuff, but you'll also take stress damage, which is an interesting thing because some monsters' attack will cause stress. You know, if you get critical hit, you know, the kind of mood of the party goes down, you get stress. You know, all of these quirks you will get to in a second, they can change how much stress you get, or why you get stress, and all those kind of things. So it adds another aspect to the kind of going into a dungeon, running a dungeon. You know, you have to keep an eye on the stress. And this game is very difficult in its own little way. You can also rename and dismiss if you like, and you have things like the stagecoach where you get new heroes. You can upgrade it with items that you will be picking up from your questing. You've got money, you know, you say like this Reynold guy here. He's currently in the Abbey praying to a higher power, and that will relieve his stress, and it costs you a certain amount of money. So when you go out on a quest, you have to make sure you get enough money to, you know, kind of get enough back, basically. And you'll see here, he is a Warrior of Light, light above 75. We'll get on to light in a bit. 10% damage. Prone to stealing items. In town, will only pray for stress relief. And anemic, minus bleed resist. So if he gets hit with a bleed, he's less likely to resist it and not bleed. And you can see here, he's there praying. He's the only one. You can upgrade it to have more slots and be more efficient and stuff. And all of these guys, you know, you've got different classes, you've got different skills that you can switch in and out. You have to unlock them, and the camping skills as well. It's a bit more complicated with the camping, but basically if you're in a bigger dungeon, you can camp out and kind of use your skills to, for example, let's see, that heal one companion for 20%, maybe remove bleeding. And you can see other quirks: stun resist, speed, monster slayer, known cheat, can't gamble, witness, won't pray. So, for example, for this guy, he can't gamble. So you can't put him in there, but he also can't pray, so it reduces the places you can go to. Now, the guild will upgrade combat skills, so you can take him in here, and you can go like, oh, I'll unlock this, and I'll unlock that, and, you know, it's great. And you can upgrade skills for people who've been leveling up, and in here you can upgrade this, and then upgrade the weapons, or upgrade the armor, kind of dependent. You've got to be fairly careful, because as you can see, it costs a lot. Like, it costs 11 deeds, I only have 7, for example, to do the armor smithing. So I can't do that. But I can upgrade the pistol. You know, I can upgrade the weapons, which is great. And then you've got a few other places which aren't unlocked yet on this current playthrough. You've got Survivalist, which helps you unlock, which lets you unlock your camping skills. So you can, you know, one companion, reduce stress by 10. That's really useful. You can only use 4 of these skills at a time, but you can switch them out. And you can only use 3 of these at a time. But again, you can switch them out once you've unlocked them. And then you have, for example, the Sanitarium, which, say I wanted to let this guy be able to go into the gambling or get rid of the witness. I can just get rid of anything negative if I like. And again, you can, you know, reduces treatment cost and etc. So you kind of you use these things to and this one increases the number of slots to kind of reduce the amount of money you're spending, so you have more money so you can buy more things and do more things. And you've got all of these different types of hero, I guess you'd call them. I'm not sure they are heroes, but yeah. And you see you've got these different places you can go. Basically, from what I can tell, you start off at the ruins, which is the easiest, and then you move on to these other ones, the Weald, the Warrens, and you kind of have these short apprentice dungeon runs, and then it'll go up to medium, and it'll get more harder and harder, and you kind of clear and kill bosses, and yeah, you just have to kind of have these guys surviving. But because of the stress mechanic, something you can't do, which you can kind of do in XCOM, is you can't keep running the same guys, because their stress will go up, and if they reach full stress, they'll have like a kind of breaking point where they'll either be really heroic, or they'll be really kind of like, well, they may actually commit suicide. They may be like just lose all hope and commit suicide, but they can also go a bit mental and bring down the rest of your party. So while you're out and fighting and all that kind of hullabaloo, they can actually get they can actually increase the stress level of your guys.
A mighty sword arm anchored by holy purpose.
And you can hear this guy. It's from what I've heard, people have been getting a bit tired of that voice, you know, like, but it's a nice little addition, and I think it benefits more than it hurts. So let's just take some random people. I'm going to be getting rid of this for my YouTube series that I'm going to do. And I think I'll do a full series and see how it goes, and just hopefully it'll be good. We'll take that one, and we'll take, what have we got? We need someone. So let's take Restalt, I guess. And then you go into, so you, basically what you have to do is complete 100% of room battles, and you get 3,000, 2 busts, and 2 crests. Which isn't bad. You have all of these things. You do need food, so what I tend to do is I just tend to take a fair few torches. We'll see about the light level, as I said. Some of these are useful for kind of items you may find, or for example, stopping bleeding, stopping blights, poisons, and etc. Curing diseases, and of course unlocking strongboxes and doors. So let us, we'll go like this, because we're not going to be too... Okay, so now we're getting into the actual questing. Like, you can see the kind of hub of your base, as it were. Like in XCOM, you have a base type area, and then you kind of embark off onto quests.
The fiends must be driven back. And what better place to begin than the seat of our noble line?
I think that just adds a little something, the voices. And yeah, I like the art style. It's fairly simple, but it's good. And you can see you've got the order. I set it up myself badly, and you can change it. The order of all of the heroes and people at the front. Like, you can see the skills here. He has to be in the. You see the yellows there, the yellow dots. He has to be in the front 3 to be able to use that skill, but he can only hit the front 2 of the enemy. Whereas with like this one, you have to be in the back 2 to heal. And you can target anyone. Or this, you have to be in the back 2 to use the skill, and you can hit any of the enemy at all. So what you have is you have these rooms. You've got all your info here that you need. You've got items as well that you can use, and then you've got your map here. You've got to we've got to do 100% of room battles. So some rooms will be empty, some will have battles. This is a very straightforward just path. Sometimes it can branch off. You'll have to go back in on yourself. And you got light here. So radiant light 100 gives us plus scouting and monsters surprised. Great. But as you keep going, the light will go down, and you have to use the torches to increase it back up. And you have to decide how many torches to take with you before you know what the room is like. So let's have this guy. You see here, we have an item. Basically, you have you can see these squares, and they can be items, traps, battles, whatever. And you can go past it if you like, or you can just go for it. Like, oh, there you go, and we can go. Yeah, let's try and open the cabinet. It was trapped. I am now bleeding. So that's kind of okay. You also get these, which are really annoying. Rubble.
Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
There you go. A crude jumble of stones and debris. So if you pick it, it will do damage to all of your guys, and it will stress them out. And we got a few people on high stress. You see back here, Brimo has 52 stress, for example. So that's why I bought the shovel, because you can clear it out the way without problem. Very This War of Mine, actually, in a way. So we haven't had anything in the first one, apparently. There you go. Our light level is now dim light 70, so it adds you out. It adds up the stress, and then you've got a bit of scouting and monsters surprised. So we are going through. We just come from here. We're going through here. There's a monster battle there, and there's a battle here. So we're going to want our torch up to increase the chance of monsters surprised for a start, but also to reduce our stress. And then we click on the next room. And we carry on, and we'll have a battle in about 5 seconds. Or 2 seconds. Okay, so these are the fights, and they depend on speed. You can see the speed here. For example, Brimo has bad speed. Oh god, crits. This is what happens when it crits. All that stress just... And when an enemy crits one of your guys, the stress goes up. So a crit is very, very bad. And you can see the skills. Got open vein, that will cause one of them to bleed. Pistol shot has pretty high damage, good accuracy, and a high crit chance. A grape shot, you can see the lines in between the red dots, means that it actually hits all 3 of these. And because he does a fair amount of damage, crit mod goes down, so only 2% to crit, you can see there. But 3 to 5, and these guys only have 5 HP. So there you go.
Executed with impunity.
Killed 2. And now you can see we've gone on to Bygod. Like, his speed is 0, so takes him a while. He can battle heal. He can stunning. If he's back a little bit, he can actually use this Holy Lance, which helps against monster type Unholy. These are beasts, not unholy, unfortunately, but still. So we'll choose the one with the highest health, because he does fairly high damage. And then we just got the Barbarian, who can, you know, do all these. Again, Breakthrough is an attack that hits a whole load of... it hits 3 of them, so could have used that as well. The Barbaric Yorp is a stun, which does a little bit of damage, and then you just standard hack and slash.
Give them no quarter.
And then you see sometimes when you kill the enemies, when you crit and etc., you get stress relief. So actually, for example, someone like Dismas here, the Highwayman, he can have a fair high crit chance. It looks like his skills are screwing that up. Let's have a look. Maybe not. Huh. I'm not sure why that is, but yeah. So having someone with high crit chance is actually sometimes a great idea. And it's trapped, and he is now blighted, which is the equivalent of poison. It can stack as well. We've lost some of the light here again. And we're going into another fight, so it's worth a torch, just in case. There we go, and he's going to go into this fight blighted, but there's... Oh no, he's going to just finish being blighted. So you do have things like, for example, heal. Okay, we do get the first. So these guys over here have a good crit chance, these Brigand Fusiliers. We can do 4 to 9, so we're not going to kill them, but it's really worth getting rid of them because they can do an equivalent of this, except for they hit everyone. And they tend to crit quite a lot. So it's worth going straight after him, even if he dodges. There you go. Yeah, so he hit a couple of us, but that's not too bad. This Brimo has a party heal, a chance either 2 or 2. So I do 2 healing to everyone, but these 2 at the front, they're fine. So it's not really worth doing them. Divine Grace, heal 4 to 6. So I could heal Dismas, my Highwayman guy, but I want to do damage and heal. Now I can do that with Judgment. Hit this guy, it crits, that was just lucky, but it does heal for 3 as well. So that's a really good one to have. The healing is interesting, to say the least. Okay, there we go. The healing is interesting because you don't do that much healing, and quite often it doesn't work brilliantly. So you've got this kind of instance of like you can heal, but it's difficult to keep people at full health. You're not always going to keep them at full health. You're gonna it's just not great. Okay, so our chance to stun here is 50%. That's not great. Let's do damage. Damage better. Okay, so we've got pistol shot, so we could go after this guy. He's got fair high damage. We could do a bleed on this guy because he's got a lot of health, and he does a kind of AoE as well. So 20 crit. Damn. There you see the kind of white above there is stress relief, so that helps with the stress there. This guy is doing some damage there. So because we've managed to kill the shooter back there, we can go, okay, let's give it a heal. Let's give Dismas here a heal. Only 4, but still, not bad. So you can see, like, they're going to be doing damage to you, so that 4 to basically is a 2. It's also 2 rounds per round, 3 rounds. The bleed's going to hurt a lot. So there is a lot of kind of essence of, well, I can heal, but it's only sustaining. It's not kind of, you know, I haven't got to a point really where I'm being... okay, here's a good one. So you see the pistol shot, I can do it if I'm the third, you know, in these back 3 here. But I can only hit the back 3 here. So I can't hit this guy with the pistol shot. The grape shot is good against multiple enemies. But he's on 11 HP, and I can do 3 to 6. That's not really worthwhile. But I can do open vein, and it does 8 damage and bleeds him. So you've got to kind of tailor your skills to how you want to set things up. There are also skills. There we go. There are also skills that will let you push and pull members around, and there are enemies who will do the same thing. And you can really like say you have one of those shooters at the back. There's a guy who can pull him to the front, and then you can just kill him with your front guys, and not worry. You know, he won't be able to use the shooting skills as much, so it's not as bad. So yeah, it's really good. There we go. It's trapped. And she got blighted. Okay, so yeah, what we need to do now is kind of carry on. I'm not going to go any further for this because I feel like I've spoken about everything really. And if you need to, you can also abandon quest. Are you sure you want to retreat? The heroes will suffer the stress of defeat. Yes.
Wounds to be tended.
So, I don't want this video to go on too long. But there you go. You still get what you collected. You get your collected treasure, but you don't get the quest rewards, which will usually be able to cover most of your expenses. And then you get, if you complete it, you get the you get more on your way to leveling up, and you get traits. So Thanatophobia, health below 50, stress resist. So he gets more stressed the lower health he is. That's Thanatos, I think, Thanatophobia. Anebic is minus bleed resist, but plus 5 dodge. So you get good and bad, and Paranormania is obsessed with the paranormal. So if she runs across something paranormal in the dungeon, she'll be forced to check it out. So even if you don't want to search something...
My obsession caused this great foulness, and it is shameful that I must rely upon you to set it right.
So you've got other things as well. So this Reynold was praying and recovered 55 stress. He was praying and left in search of a holy vision. I have now lost him from my team. So there you go. That was great. And then you get bounty. You get other guys like the bounty hunter. You get the cultist, plague doctor. You can increase how many people you might be able to get with the stagecoach network, but those cost certain things. So you see, I didn't get any deeds, and in the early days especially, the first place, kind of the easiest area to go, you're not going to get many deeds. So it's not that worthwhile spending your deeds unless you really need to. So, if you really want to be able to upgrade your armor smithing, you want to get to a level to upgrade your armor on your heroes, you need to get to here and get that up there. But at the same time, upgrading these is like, well, it's good, but it costs a lot. So you want to reduce the cost. You also get skills like amateur armor smith, which is minus upgrade armor cost. That's great. So yeah, there's a whole load of things to think about. Like zealous accusation does a lot of damage to the front 2 people for this guy. I didn't have that. But maybe it would have been more useful than like the Holy Lance, because you have to be in the back 3 for that one to work. So you've got all these things you can really mix and match. Even like these healers, they don't have to be at the back. You've got this skill which is at the front. You've got this skill, Illumination, at the front. Hand of Light at the front as well, deals damage to Unholy. So if you're going to be fighting skeletons and etc., you may want to take it. So there's a lot to consider, and there's a lot to the game. Like, there isn't in essence that much. It's very simple and it's straightforward, but it's fun, and it will keep you going. There was no point. I played it for quite a long time last night. You saw it was the furthest I've got while playing this game. There was no point where I was like, oh, I'm bored. I was just like, I should probably stop now. And I was like, I don't exactly want to, but I should probably stop now. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's either your cup of tea or it isn't. And that's fine. But if it's the type of game you're thinking to yourself, I'm liking the look of this game, I'm just not sure whether it's worth it, I can tell you it is. Honestly, it's not often I say I like a game, it's worth it in my opinion. I can't say for sure you'll enjoy it, because I don't know what your tastes are. And, everyone has different tastes. But if you enjoy the same games as me, if you like games like this is a solid one. And even though it's in early access, it's got the entertainment already. It's got the enjoyability, it's got the gameplay, it's got the content. And if they're planning on spending a fair while in early access, it's not too bad. They'll keep adding content and updates and stuff, and then when it's released, yeah, I can imagine it being just as good. So there you go, guys. That is my unfair review. What do I think of it? I think it's good. Do I think you should get it? Well, that's up to you. At the end of the day, I recommend it. If that's good enough for you, fair play. If it's not, then fair play too, I guess. You know, like at the end of the day, as I always say, my unfair reviews are just literally me showing you gameplay and going, I like this game. And then people go, I don't like this game. I'm like, well, fair enough. Or, you know, if I say, I don't like this game, and you go, well, I do like this game, I play it all the time. I'm like, what are you doing watching my review then? It's a valid point. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this helped you decide whether you wanted it or didn't want it, or, you know, even just wanted to watch a bit of the game, because I will be doing a series. Keep an eye out for that, and I'll see you in the next video.